Welcome, it's your host Amy from Pen Venture, and I hope you like that intro. We are currently in development of changing a few things regarding our approach to doing reviews, so I'm still testing. In this review, we are going to experience two beautiful fountain pens from Scribo, the Field Collection from the autumn. We are gonna go back in time in autumn, although it's winter and it's very cold. The Scribo Field Zucca, which means pumpkin, autumn, pumpkin, you know it. And the Scribo Field Foglia, which means leaf. And you know by now that autumn is the leaf season, so that is the name that was picked for this two beautiful colors. We already reviewed the Scribo Field Collection and I've showed you a few other models, especially other colors of the same model, the Field. I'm gonna link the video up here, you can check that video. And in this review, I'm gonna go through some of the details that are not present in the other video review that I've linked, and let's experience these two fountain pens. Let's see what makes them so beautiful. Let's see some of the details. Let's put them into a size comparison side by side with different fountain pens, although it's the same model like the one presented in the other video review. And we are going to have a writing sample. This time I'm going to use the extra fine flexible nib, the 14 karat gold nib, which is sublime. At this moment in stock, we only have two fountain pens from this collection left, one Zucca and one Foglia. I'm gonna show you them right here. Beautiful colors. I'm gonna go first with the Foglia, and this is a pretty color. I want to show you a comparison between the Foglia right here and another fountain pen that has a similar color and is very popular. The Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande in Girasole resin. As you can probably observe, the colors are pretty similar, but the Scribo has a more darker tone and it's missing that turquoise specks like you've seen on the Girasole. And this very sweet Girasole size 8 14 karat gold nib, which is in stock. Beautiful pen. I love this color a lot. Let's get into the Zucca more, because the Foglia, I'm gonna keep it close to me. I'm gonna bump into them and show you a side-by-side in the same time perspective of the two fountain pens. And we are going to base the review on the Scribo Field Zucca, the pumpkin, the orange one. I'm gonna skip the box. If you want to see the unboxing experience, you can check the other video that I linked up, and you will also find the link for the video review with the unboxing and all other aspects down below. The finial, and this is pretty basic, and it's something that is with the Scribo Field collection from the beginning. On this finial we find the international symbol for writing, which is a feather, very fine engraved lines which are surrounding that logo. The finial sits on top of the cap, very flushed, and there isn't any sharp edges, nothing whatsoever. Gold plated like all of the trims on both of the fountain pens. The clip, very practical, brilliant. It is very steady, and I can guarantee you that is functional and you can clip the fountain pen wherever you like. The clip, if you look closely under it, it's riveted, it's swooping and curvy, and it's very practical. I love this model, I love the design of the clip, and I think it's flowing very well with the overall theme of the fountain pen. The material on the cap is stunning. We have the Zucca. It is a beautiful orange color. To be honest, I have to say that I never imagined myself owning an orange fountain pen until I've seen the orange Zucca. It's beautiful. It's two sides, one more darker tone and one more lighter tone. It's chatoyant, it's vibrant, it's beautiful. On the other hand, we have the Foglia, which is deep and marbly, and we have yellow specks and darker green, forest green tones. And if you put this fountain pen, let's say in close or in the vicinity of a few autumn leaves, you can almost blend it in with the surrounding environment. Let's get back to the Zucca. The shape of the cap is very familiar with the overall Field collection design. As you can observe, we have the thickest point in the middle right here, and it's tapering in on both ends. It's not that common. This shape, when the diameter of the cap and the body is going from thin to thicker back to thin, this is not pretty common to every single Italian fountain pen, but it's with the Scribo feel. Then we have the cap ring. On this cap ring we have engraved Scribo under the clip. Then we have a few fine lines, and on the opposite we have Feel the Writing, which is their motto. And I love this cap band because it's a play on the actual purpose of a cap band on vintage fountain pens, because the cap band is there to make sure that no matter how tight you screw the fountain pen in, you won't crack the barrel. And actually this cap band is on the edge of the cap, and it's very, very practical. The nib, 14 karat 585 gold nib, and this is where Scribo has an edge on pretty much every single fountain pen, because they are experts in regards of flex nibs. And let me give you a bit of a background regarding their skills and know-how. Basically, the employees of the former Omas pen company are in Scribo, and also they've taken with them the know-how to make nibs. The nibs that are called in Omas extra flessibile ones, and those nibs are characterized by being very soft, very flexy, wet. They are very sought after in these days. On this nib you will get Feel the Flex engraved, and we have Scribo 14 karat 585 gold. On the left shoulder of the nib you get the nib size, and the nib sizes vary between extra fine, fine, medium, broad in 14 karat gold. Also, Scribo is known for two specialty nibs. We have the triple broad and the stub, but those are not available in 14 karat gold, but 18 karat gold. There is also available a series between extra fine to broad in 18 karat gold, but Penventure doesn't sell those. The gorgeous 14 karat flex nibs are fueled by ebonite feeds, and this ebonite feeds sure does offer a very rich and consistent ink flow to this nibs. You will see in the writing sample with the extra fine nib that the feed is keeping up so well with the overall flexing capabilities of the nib. The nib along with the ebonite feed are friction fitted inside a collar or housing, and this collar is screwed in this section. On the section you will see that we have this ring which marks the beginning of the section, and this ring is not sharp. I observed that in time inking the fountain pen there is no ink, so basically you don't get any ink on your fingers. And also that ring is very nice because it offers a feedback for your fingers, knowing where is too close to the nib. The actual shape of the section is faceted, although it's not as pronounced as the body. I'm going to show you that there are some facets, and those facets are not sharp or pronounced. They are very well blended into the overall design, and actually they give a very original feedback when you hold the fountain pen like so. On the section you will see that the material is almost transparent. You can actually see some of the threads of the inner section, and also a black ring, which I think is an O-ring right here. On the other hand, if I'm going to show you the foglia close by, the foglia is completely opaque, so you don't see anything in this section. The cap threads are very beautifully integrated in the section. They are situated right here. I don't think there is someone who holds the fountain pen like this, but if it is someone that is holding the fountain pen this high, you will feel them uncomfortable. Combined with the step up from the barrel, which is right here, I will recommend a different design. This may not fit you. Of course, we have the step up from the section, and we have the barrel starting. Again, just like the cap, we have basically the same overall shape, meaning that the fountain pen has the thickest point right here, and it's tapering on both ends. This fountain pen is very comfortable when you write with it for extended periods of time, because this part, which is the thickest one, fills up the gap from this part of the hand, and it's very comfortable, and it makes the fountain pen feel very nimble. Trust me, if you ever have the chance to try one of the Scribo, pay attention and see that the actual thickest part of the barrel fills up this part of your grip very well. It makes the fountain pen feel very solid in your hand. The barrel features the same facets like on the cap, and they are gorgeous, splendid. They catch the light so well. When you turn the fountain pen like so, you actually can catch every single facet individually. So this is very beautiful. Combined with a darker material like the Foglia, you get a spectacular visual effect with the facets. Moving forward, we have this ring which marks the end of the barrel, and we arrived at the piston knob. The piston knob shape is conical. It's tapering in towards the end finial. On the end finial, and this is the first time that I've observed. I've had Scribo files around me for the past year or so, but I never paid attention to this small detail. But actually, on the piston knob, you have engraved Scribo Italy, and this time I didn't want it to miss it. Another key point that I forgot to mention in my previous review is that the Scribo fill, it's not postable. You cannot post it, not that securely. It's not going to post no matter what you do. So this is a fountain pen that you will need to use unposted. So if you post your fountain pens, I would recommend to not go for this, because this is not a huge oversized fountain pen, but you cannot post it to complement in the lack of the size filling system. We have a piston, and this is very similar to other OMA's pistons. I quite enjoy this system. It has a very smooth operation. It's not that long in the way that the rod is extending, and this is how much the piston knob is going to extend outside. It holds a very good amount of ink. I would not put it in having a huge ink capacity, but it's good. You have plenty of ink to get around it. The Scribo Field Zucca and Foglia are limited editions, although they are not numbered, and we don't find any engraving on the body with the actual number of the fountain pen. I can guarantee you that they are limited to 219 pieces per color. Those are the key aspects of the Scribo Field Zucca and Foglia. I love them so much that I decided to own one myself. Now I think it's time to go into a size comparison. Let's put the Scribo Field side by side with different fountain pens. This time I want to try to use different fountain pens from the previous review. Then we will have a writing sample with the 14 karat gold nib, which is flexible. And after that, I'm going to put everything together, show you some of my thoughts, and we'll end the video. Here is the Scribo Field Zucca standing next to other pen models. From left to right we have Cross Pearlesque Darth Vader, Onoto Spitfire, Scribo Field Zucca, Leonardo Officina Italiana Cuspide, and Oma's Ogiva Alba Blue Angel Cocktail. The measurements of the fountain pen are as so: 147 millimeters capped, 134 millimeters uncapped, and the total weight of the fountain pen, fully inked and capped, is 39 grams, and fully inked and uncapped is 22 grams. And we have the writing sample, my favorite part. Let's go. We have the pen, and this is the Scribo Field Zucca. We have the nib, and this is the 14 karat gold extra fine point. The ink, and this is what I'm using. This is the Scribo Blue Cosmico ink, and I know you guys called Aurora Black as the king of blacks, but this is my king of blue blacks, the Blue Cosmico from Scribo. Beautiful ink, very thick, very viscous, and it has a gold sheen. Scribo Blue Cosmico.
As you can see, I'm prone to doing all sorts of flourishings with this nib because it's so smooth and nice. Now let's check the wetness, and this is quite a wet nib, although this ink doesn't show it because it's very thick. This ink, it's a fire hose. For an extra fine nib, it's very wet. Now let's do some normal figure of eights, and this is how it writes in normal writing. I would say it's like a fat fine due to the very rich ink flow. And now let's do something in regards of flex, and I'm gonna go quickly, and this is how the feed is keeping up with the flexing capabilities of the nib. It's amazing. I haven't seen this kind of performances from different flexible nibs. I'm quite impressed by the Scribo feel nibs, the flexible ones. And now let's do some fast writing and do the very known sentence. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Very nice. The nib is very smooth with a hint of a feedback, what is expected from a extra fine nib. It's not skipping, it's not hard starting, it has a very rich ink flow, and I love it. This is my favorite nib size from the entire nib range.
It was pretty, isn't it? The 14 karat flexible extra fine nib is a monster. I love that nib a lot. It writes very wet. For extra fine, I would say that it's pretty smooth, although it has a hint of a feedback, but that comes with extra fine nibs. The joy of using it, the softness of the nib, the actual feel, because being that soft and an extra fine point, it will become like a shock absorber, because on the paper there is a lot of imperfections. So if you have a stiff nib, the stiff nib will pick up those imperfections in the paper, and actually you will feel that the font pen is not that smooth. But being that soft, if you don't apply any pressure and use it in normal writing, it actually feels a lot more smoother than other extra fine nibs that I've personally tried. So this is my feedback regarding the nib. So my thoughts on the font pen. The font pen shape is very pretty and beautiful, and I love it, and it's comfortable. I've used it for extended writing sessions. It's a pleasure to use it. You actually burn through a lot of ink if you go for the fine, medium, broad sizes for the nib, but that is not bad. In my opinion, that's the whole point of having a font pen. Also, something that I want to point out regarding the Scribo feel. Most likely the Scribo feel that is using the gold color trims. We have now the Scribo feel Zucca and Foglia, but I've also experienced on my previous owned font pen, the Scribo Verde Bosco, that the gold plating on the brass trims is going to develop a patina. Most of you guys will, let's say, mistaken that for rust. It is not rust. Actually, in the box you will have a polishing cloth, and you can take the cloth and wipe the patina off and make the trims very shiny, like the font pen is new. I've got a few messages and people ask me if that is rust. It is not rust. Brass is not rusting, so you need only to use the polishing cloth and it is going to look as new. Other aspects. Well, there isn't anything that I dislike about the Scribo fill. I'm very curious about what will be the next colors for them. I think we will have a winter edition, I'm not sure. I'm going to share this news with you all as soon as I have some pictures, images, or simply news. So on that aspect, I think it's time to wrap up. If you're interested in owning a Scribo fill, Zucca or Foglia, down below you will find the link for them. You can go there and see what nib sizes are available. You can also write in an email after purchasing the font pen if you want me to check your nib, and we will go from there. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find it useful, and if you did so, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the PenVenture YouTube channel by clicking here and turn the notification bell on. And if you want to support me and see more quality content, click on this video and watch it. My name is Emmy and I look forward to seeing you next video. Take care, stay safe, don't get COVID. Bye bye.